speaking of science, there's going to be a microscope put on Trey Lance all offseason, right? All eyes are going to be on number now 19. Boy, I hope he changes that. But number 19 for Trey Lance. Take us on the field and give us a detailed breakdown of how he looked in the first practice the media was able to see.
Well, it was the second practice because they had a practice. They had OTA session number 1 was on Tuesday. Yesterday was OTA 2, but that was the media availability.
Right,
but,
the first for the media. My apologies.
Oh, yeah. So with Trey Lance, the first thing that stood out to me, and I got asked this question after Cowboys practice was moved indoors yesterday. One of our colleagues asked me, "Is there something different about Trey Lance that I'm seeing?" But their question was, "Is there something different in his technique and his form?" And I was like, "No, it looks exactly the same. But I tell you what, he looks more comfortable than I've ever seen him look." And that includes going back to the film with the 49ers and stuff like that. So he looks like he belongs. And I don't really know how to qualify or quantify that any better than how I'm saying it now. He's making the throws, the difficult throws. He's not overthinking the easy throws. His footwork looks confident in his drops. You can just tell that he has been a sponge and absorbed everything he can in quarterback school with Mike McCarthy, who, as we know, more or less is a QB whisperer, sticking to the hip of Dak Prescott, learning what he can from Cooper Rush. It is already starting to translate. Now, again, I qualify that by saying it is early. We will see how this translates to camp when he starts taking reps with the second team to battle Cooper Rush directly for that QB2 role in 2024, because right now he was simply relegated to the third team. But the fact that no matter who you're throwing to, the throws have to be there, right? The footwork has to be there. The timing has to be there. The cadence has to be there. The command of the offense has to be there. Those things were there for him. What will that look like when he graduates to the second team? Probably as early as mandatory minicamp, or most certainly at some point in training camp. That's what I'm keeping an eye on. But Trey Lance looked better than I've seen him look in any of the practices so far.
Yeah, one thing that Coach McCarthy had brought up in his press conference was that he's going to get ample amount of opportunities this preseason. And something that I've said here on the show a few different times was, look, I'm no coach or anything like that, but if I was them, I know what I have in Dak. Dak's not going to play in preseason. We understand that.
Not a single snap.
Not a single snap.
Not a one.
And you really know what you got in Coop. I understand you want to, as a backup quarterback, when I say Coop, I mean Cooper Rush. As a backup quarterback, you need to get reps in preseason because you're hardly going to get them during the regular season. But I don't know if there's another player on this Cowboys roster outside of rookies where preseason snaps, offseason snaps matter more. And I know Trey Lance is this is his fourth season, but he doesn't have enough time on task. So is there an inkling in that building that Trey's going to get the first go about it as a starter in preseason as opposed to Cooper Rush?
Yes, and that's why I say my expectation is possibly as early as mandatory minicamp, June 4th to June 6th, he might begin to see some reps with the second team. But I absolutely expect that Trey Lance is going to be taking at least 50% of the second team reps in training camp to put him in a 50-50 split with Cooper Rush to give him the best chance at putting as much out there as he can. And then, of course, that goes to what you're asking, preseason as well. I think this is the preseason of Trey, and you can use that title if you want. I think this is the preseason of Trey. I think he will get the large bulk of snaps in the preseason. Cooper Rush will get his, but only in the capacity of trying to keep Cooper Rush sharp as far as game time, as far as game snaps are concerned. But they already know what they have in Cooper Rush.
Right.
And you're not a single time going to see Dak Prescott on the field. So I do believe the large majority, it could be upwards of 75% of the time, you're going to see Trey Lance out there, because as long as Dak Prescott remains healthy in 2024, you're not going to have a chance to see Trey Lance in a regular season game or postseason game. So preseason is where you got to do it. And I think that they know that. And I think McCarthy has the month of August circled for full-blown evaluation of Trey Lance's future.